Archaic, and with me is Zaevul. How you doing?
Hello.
Yes,
Well,
indeed. Hello. Hello. This is the replay analysis section of week 2. So we're going to jump into a replay. It's pretty simple. I picked a replay of Zaevul. I'll just quickly show you his statistics this week in case you didn't watch part 1, because fully understand we all have busy lives. Smile for the camera in your little, ooh, yes, yes. Okay, jumping over to Starcraft 2. We have our hero. Our hero. Okay, let's get this game started. So we have Zaevul spawning in the bottom right as the Red Terran. So, in the status reports section of the Armory, we talked about answering a couple questions. And we also talked about how this week in general, as far as the numbers were concerned, we saw your mechanics slip a little bit. Would you agree with that?
yes.
3 minutes is a
So
little
I was
longer than
watching a little trick there that I did.
80 cents.
With
I,
draw the heart with the
ooh,
I
yes,
don't know if you saw
yes.
that. Yeah.
Hopefully the viewers, yes, indeed, indeed. Yes,
My
this is a
APM
show.
skyrocketed.
This is a show, ladies and gentlemen, and Zaevul is showing off. One day, I wish I can be like Zaevul and do a Q heart.
Anyway,
So, talk a little bit about kind of your build. Like, what buildings are you building early on? Sort of, how do you approach the game now?
right now I'm doing like just starting with Marines, just lots of
Mm,
Marines until I get on 2 base. At which point, I'm building the factory, then the starport, getting out some medvacs,
great,
um,
great.
putting at least one of my uh, barracks so I can pump up marauders and get those good upgrades. Depending on how many
Great,
times
great.
I accidentally hit X and maybe build 2 by accident, and then I put lots of marauders and less marines. It
Okay, and we're
depends.
seeing you get early gas. Why don't you talk a bit about this kind of double gas pretty early?
Yeah, I thought it. I thought I needed gas at that point, so I got gas.
Okay, okay. And then I guess the final thing
I was
is,
thinking I want to make sure I can build a factory.
right, the final thing is, so we see you dropping your expansion now. Is there any particular reason? Do you like getting the 3 barracks before the command center, or the
Yeah,
3 barracks in the
I like
gas, or?
getting the 3 barracks first because I got 4 gated, and if I build the third, then I'm gonna be okay. But if I don't, and they 4 gate, and I maybe just don't see that they're doing the 4 gate, then I lose. So at least that's what I've experienced, and so yeah, get the 3 barracks,
Okay.
and then I'm like, well, I have money, build a command center.
Right, right. And I really like
Scouted him.
what you said at the very start. You said, I'm getting Marines. Marines are the, like, greatest unit that Terrans have in their arsenal. And I think every Terran will agree because they're just so versatile, right?
Yeah. Ground, air,
And
get
last week,
shields.
we talked about having an early game that's really focused on army and economy, and you've really nailed this army side of the game. You've really nailed, I need a lot of stuff early on, and I really like that. So yeah, we see you. I paused the game because this is your first supply block.
Yay! Also, is that? Oh no, I fixed that. I noticed there's for a while. I just had the guy that built my second barracks. He was
Yeah.
sitting there for like a minute, just sitting there beside my second barracks. I never moved him.
And
Apparently, I
so
remembered him.
ultimately, all I want you to think about this week is mechanics,
Yeah.
because we definitely need to get to that point where we don't where it is so ingrained in you that it becomes reflex and not something you need to think about. But
Yeah.
that's going to be the fundamental thing that we see happen in this game. So the question we ask ourselves sort of outside of the game is, what is causing these mechanics to fail? Do you have any kind of theory why this kind of happens, or?
I don't know. I get distracted, and like
Mm,
usually, I get to that point where I have the two bases down, and then I have two SCVs just building, and building them. But
right,
up until
right,
that
yeah.
point, I sometimes just I forget because I can't have one building one constant, or else I'm like have way more supply than I need, and it's just a wasted minerals really.
As far as
And
the early game.
yeah, as far as early game goes, and if I have them in, I have tons of supply waiting there, and I can't fill it because I spent it all getting that extra supply, and so, yeah, I got
So
supply blocked a lot in this
what I
game.
noticed, what I noticed in this game and in a lot of games is you get busy.
Yes.
You get busy spending your actions on building factory, building command center. Okay, let's get some engineering base because I got all this gas. I need to do something with all this gas.
Yeah, basically.
Oh, I'm at 39 of 43. I need to build a supply depot.
Yeah.
Is it bad if you have too many supply depots?
If I have way too many, if I can't also be producing my army at maximum, like all of my stuff producing, as long as like I figure as long as I can, like right now I have three barracks, as long as they can constantly be pumping out marines and my command center can be constantly pumping out SCVs, then it doesn't matter. But once I get beyond that point, then it's bad.
What if we started with this concept? Or why don't, okay, another question. Really simple. How often do you think you are floating, so minerals that you aren't using, 100 minerals?
I don't know. In
Okay,
this
if
game
your
so
average
far it looks like
unspent
I was pretty good,
minerals was
but
2,300 as
yeah.
an average,
Yeah, then pretty much the entire game
mm,
after I get multiple bases. So,
100 minerals.
yeah.
So I'm going to make the argument build supply depots constantly. My camera's. I've lost myself. Yes. Oh,
Yeah.
hello, archaic. Build supply depots constantly. It's so much easier to ease back how many supply depots you're building than it is to build a supply depot. Because if you're building supply depots constantly, it's going to be a lot easier. But I like what you're doing because what happens, and this game will show it, but what happens is when you build supply depots, I wonder if it's because my hand. I think my camera may be focusing on my hand whenever I lift it up and it's screwing up my camera. Well, I'll learn. I'll learn. I too need to develop my skills as a host. Um, Supply depots, yes. Um, Lost my train of thought. I'm sorry, John. So why not? That's the question that I ask, and I'm gonna leave you with that. And we'll see. Like I may mention in a game that you are building way too many supply depots because remember last week I mentioned that.
Yeah, that's probably why I was thinking, oh, don't buy too many, because you probably said it. I was
And if
thinking,
I
oh,
mention that,
right.
just be okay with it. Just be like, you know what? It's more important for me to have too many supply depots than to have too few. So
Yes.
sometimes it's okay to put things on the back burner and say, I'm going to fix that, but it'll take some time. Building too many. I'm not okay with you not building enough and saying, it'll take time.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. I ranted. Okay, we'll continue. Guys. Sorry. We're back. So yes. Oh, and it looks like your command center will save you actually from this. Oh, basically saved you.
Yeah.
So you're getting a lot of units. I really like this. You got a relatively fast command center, which is great. Great. You got the 3 barracks and 2 gas, and then a command center. I'm not too concerned about that. Honestly, I like it. I like it a lot. And so back to the initial questions. How much potential income does my opponent have? So I want you to take a peek at the mini map. You have a unit out by his natural ramp.
Yes.
So something that you said in the very first status report is what if I just walked a unit up into the natural,
Yeah.
right? That is something that's so basic, but so important. Not because this one motion can answer both of those questions. Why do you think it can answer both questions? I'll read the questions really quick. How much potential income does my opponent have to spend? And what is he spending his income on? How do you think that can kill two birds with one stone?
Well, I can see what kills me. So if it's like a Dark Templar, he's got Dark Templar. If there's a base there, then I know he has two bases, so he has a lot more income than one base. Whereas if he doesn't, then either he's really bad or is teching really, really fast.
Okay. Yeah, I like that. I like the idea of seeing the Nexus, because at this point in the game you haven't actually confirmed the Nexus, and it's really important just to confirm it, to check it off on your checklist of
Yeah.
how much potential income he has. And the other thing is to check the other bases to make sure he hasn't stuck a base, right?
Yes.
But that's sort of in the back burner, right? That's something that will be improved as you move on. But the other thing is, what is he spending his income on? One of the biggest things that you can do is walk that SCV up his ramp and see his army.
I sent out a Marine to do something. That's exciting. I don't remember that.
Oh, you actually sent him to a third.
Look at
That's
this.
really cool.
Look at he's checking things. Look at me checking things.
Yes, you should pat yourself on the back for that. That's good. Oh, and you move the SCV up. So you're actually scouting for a third right now. That is what you were doing.
Yeah,
That's
what I was doing.
amazing.
I think I must have assumed. I'm like, he's got to have. He had stuff when he attacked me, so he had to have two bases.
Okay,
There
so
we go.
moving that unit and seeing his army is really important to know what he's spending his money on.
I just
And
denied.
he canceled it.
Damn.
That's tasty.
Just like that. Just like that.
100 minerals, winning. So back to this concept. What is he spending his income on? If you see his army, and you did see his army, then suddenly you know what he's spending his money on. Because you can go either side, right? If you see a very large army with big expensive units like Colossus or things of that sort, you know he's spending a lot on army. If you don't see a very threatening army, you need to be like, what the heck is he spending his money on, right?
Yeah.
We need to answer those questions every game. So you're actually done an amazing job of that in this game. Run me through what you did to answer these questions. How much potential income he has, and what is he spending his income on?
Right. Well, I had this SCV here, and it had done that. I sent out a Marine to check stuff.
Yeah,
I saw his army, so I knew approximately his technology level.
yeah. So you know he's on two bases at this point. You haven't actually seen the Nexus, but we're going to say you know that, and in the future you can just confirm it.
Yeah.
And you also know he wasn't on a third a couple minutes ago. You just saw a bunch of probes transferring, so you know there's a third there.
Yeah.
And you've scouted his army. You've seen a lot of Zealots and Stalkers, which is relatively cheap army. So, ooh, I missed a part of the game I was going to show to you.
Ooh.
So
where I did
you
the
know
drop?
that. That's how you're answering these questions. So the next thing to building supply depots, to building probes or SCVs, and to spending your money is looking at your opponent. The thing that we talked about last week about winning the race by beating your opponent. There's no set amount to run. You can just run faster than your opponent. So I'm going to pause the game really here and jump back to a really important part that sort of emphasizes the point I was talking about earlier. So we're going to jump back to... And I'm sorry if you're really getting into this game. We'll finish the game, but we'll just jump forward a bit. It's right around here. Okay, so this is what stops you from winning this game 10 minutes earlier. Okay, so we're going to look at this really quickly. Slow it back down to normal, or just a bit faster. So I want you to watch your supply cap here. And then also, related to that, watch your money. So you hit a supply cap here. You build some supply depots. There's the supply depots going down. Okay.
My money's going up.
Just as a note, John,
4,
the amount of
5.
production you built, buildings you have on 2 base is awesome. Okay, so you're 114 out of 118. Your money's starting to spend. You build a command center. You build some supply depots. So you got hit on 102, 118. Boom, double supply cap. But you're still spending your money. You're still spending your money. So you're doing a good job of what I call crisis management. Because even though you can't spend money on units, you're still spending your money, which is the most important thing, right? Okay, supply capped at 118. What happened here? Boom, 134, supply capped. Build supply depots. Okay, what am I spending this money on? The money is going through the roof. Oh no, oh no. Okay, I can't build units. I haven't built units for 40 supply. Oh, boom. So you got up to 1,200 minerals there. And it's
13, yeah.
You're having a lot of trouble spending it now. You're at 148 supply, and we're going up again, right? So
Yeah.
this is what happens. It's this vicious cycle of hitting a supply block, boom. I can't spend money on units. I'm going to build a command center. I'm going to build supply depots. What happens? You spend your time building command center, building supply depots, and then you go get busy again, and boom, you're supply blocked again, right? It's this vicious cycle. So just as a note, when you get supply blocked, build a lot of supply depots so that you get back into that groove of building 2 at a time, because building 2 at a time is not good enough as you just got supply blocked again, right?
Yeah.
And this is how we see your money, and this money just explode. Because
Yeah. I'm
What
up
I-
to like 2,500.
what I said well, you're on 2 base is you have an awesome number of production buildings. If we just pause the game, if John was still on 2 bases, and we look at his production, he's got 1 barracks, 2 with reactors, so that's 5 production buildings. A
Yeah,
factory
I just
with
dropped
a
those
reactor,
reactors, so I
that's
think.
7.
Yeah.
And starport is 9. So on 2 bases, that's actually a little. Well, you just dropped the reactor.
I
That's
just
what you
dropped
said.
the reactors.
So
yeah,
you were,
with the third.
when I counted, it was 7. So something happened, but you had a really good number of supply or of. What am I saying? Production buildings. You had a really good amount of production buildings. But when you move to this third base is where, what did I say? You spend your money, right? You can still spend your money. You just have to spend it on things like 8 more barracks,
Yeah.
2 more command centers, right? There's nothing stopping you from spending this money other than yourself. And that's important to note. You're going to hit another supply block, and we'll finish through this game here. But this money is something that just simply needs to be spent, right? It's not a difficult thing to spend your money. It's just, you just have to actively do it, right? Supply depots is another big issue, right? So remember, fundamentally, the only thing you should worry about is supply depots until you're maxed, because then you don't need supply depots anymore. And then command centers, barracks, factories, starports, all of the things. You want all of the things as soon as you hit 200. So, and see, you're spending all this time on this drop,
Yeah.
which I would say is a
Up to,
huge
like,
mistake.
6,000 minerals.
This is what you call cute, John. You are being cute right now. You're
That's
not.
cute.
Yes, you're not being
Smart.
efficient, smart. You're not spending your time well. You are like 60 supply up, and you have a bank of 6,300 minerals, and you're not maxed. Right? So these are the things. Like, dropping is a great thing, and I'm never going to get mad at you for dropping, but that time can be spent so much better, right? You can max, you can go win the game. You could have won the game at 21 minutes, right? And this game goes on. Just simply because you've chosen to let it go on, right? You have this dagger against his throat. You're like, you have him checkmated, but you're not saying checkmate. Like, it's just a simple like, oh, I win. Like that's something that just like, what happens is you're just allowing him to have potential to come back, right? That's not what we like. You're obviously clearly in a dominant position, but you still can spend this money, right? You finally hit your max. And the game's over, right? You clearly dominated. You're just chasing his army around. See, at this point, you could split your army in two, kill his army with one, and go win the game with the other. But it's just pretty much winning the game. And that's good. Winning is important. But remember, we're not concerned about winning. We're concerned about improving you. Winning doesn't improve you. Building supply depots, spending your money is what's going to improve you. There is the GG. That is it. Winning. How did it feel to win?
It felt pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, because you only won 3 out of 10.
Yeah.
So each win is worth a bit.
It's significant because it's not very often.
Right. But remember that the ladder is all practice. That's all the reason that we use the ladder. Just simple practice. So view this as just opportunities to work on your macro, work on the fundamentals, because as soon as we get past this step, it's a whole world of fun. Oh man, playing at a master's level is just so much fun. You get to build your own strategies, you get to think about the game so much, and you get to outthink your opponents, and you're like, yes. It feels so satisfying to play a game, have just gorgeous mechanics, and then just roll over your opponent because you are a smarter player. But we're not at the smart player yet. We're at the mechanic player yet. You just need to build crap, spend your money.
Yeah.
And build supply depots. I like that. So thanks so much for playing this week, John. Thanks for the replays. This show could not exist without you playing these games, and I appreciate it a lot. And also a shout out to all of you guys. Give me a finger in the picture. Oh my goodness, I got so much support. I got so many suggestions. I actually have a guy helping me out with the intro video that you all have seen. Oh my goodness, you guys are awesome. I appreciate it so much. Any suggestions you have, you probably have my Facebook. You can Facebook me. You can private message me in YouTube, or you can be awesome and tweet at me. I still haven't quite figured out the Twitterverse, but you can help me figure it out. Because then I can try to respond to a tweet. I have not done that yet. Tweet me. It'd be fun. John, anything you'd like to say before we close up?
I also don't know how to use Twitter. I have one, I think.
Nice. I love it. I just spend my time playing Starcraft, and then everyone's like, oh, I tweeted in control, and he totally responded to me. Oh my goodness. And I'm like, I don't know. I watch his stream. That's I enjoy that. Woo!
Pretty much.
Okay, thanks everybody for watching. So also stay tuned for the first episode with my new student. His username is Glitched. He is also a Silver Terran. We're like a bunch of silver buddies. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Maybe one day we'll have a show match. Oh, show match. Student battle. Winner kills the other one.
Oh dear.
Or we can have a little icon that's like champion of this week. No, we're not here to compete. We're here to get better. My face is gone. Thanks everybody for watching. We'll be back next week. Stay tuned, guys.